Do you need friends? This week's guest moved to Ohio, wanted to make some friends, and decided to try autocross. And that's how her motorsports journey started. Let's throw the green flag on this episode. Well, Nisa, it's great to have you on the Late to Grid podcast. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so you and I met through the SCCA.
Yes.
But I really first found out about you because you're all over Instagram. Specifically, Hans, the GTI, which is your car. Before we get into motorsport stuff, I want to talk about that.
Yes.
What made you create an Instagram account about your white Volkswagen?
I don't know. I just kind of thought to give my car like a little persona of some kind. I always see faces in cars. That's a little bit weird, but ever since I was a kid, I look at the headlights as like eyes and the grill is like a smile. And I thought, my car's kind of cute. I think I'm going to give it a little persona and start posting about it as if it were like a living creature.
Yeah.
And then I started posting memes on it about it and people just seem to really enjoy it.
It is. It's engaging content. I love it. And it's one of the ways we got connected. So let's talk a little bit more about your motorsports background. Mm-hmm. So you first got interested in racing because your brother and you would watch NASCAR and rally events, I think, right? Mm-hmm. So what was it about watching that said, I think I want to get closer to the car community?
Growing up, I've always thought, I guess this kind of dates me a little bit, but in the 90s, when I watched a lot of racing growing up, it was mostly men that were racing and, women started coming onto the scene. And I was like, how cool would it be to be a female in the racing world? And I wanted to see, what steps it took to be involved in the racing community and get more into cars. So, and I always played video games with my brother, racing video games like Gran Turismo and stuff like that. So, it's just, I just kept practicing on there and just pretending I was a race car driver. And yeah.
Well, it did get you behind the wheel. So when did you make the jump from playing video games to entering your first autocross?
I actually got into autocross as kind of a way to join some kind of community, make some friends. I moved to Ohio from Florida probably about 7 years ago. Mm-hmm. And I was looking to make some new friends. And I was like, what hobbies can I get into? And then I found out about SCCA. And I was like, I'm going to go check out an autocross and see what it's all about. And I was like, I could totally do this with my car. And another kind of weird reason was that my car was approaching 90,000 miles. And I kind of wanted to celebrate the 100,000th mile doing something cool with it. And I'm like, Volkswagen GTI is kind of like a, cool sports car. It's meant to be on a track or whatever. So I was like, I think I'm going to take it to do some racing.
Yeah. And did you happen to turn 100,000 miles?
Yes, actually.
During an autocross event?
I believe so, because I remember posting a video shortly after using video footage from that autocross. And I actually recorded it turning 100,000. So I was like,
You're dodging cones.
Yeah.
Trying to get 100,000.
No, obviously I was parked in the grid. So yeah.
Oh my gosh, how cool. Let's go back to taking those first steps with getting involved with SCCA and autocross. I'm going to guess that was the East Lake lot.
We did a few in the East Lake lot, but mostly at the IX Center.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Did you find it to be welcoming? Were you nervous rolling into the facility the first time? How did you then learn how to autocross? So first, what was it like just rolling in, not knowing anybody?
It was a little intimidating at first, to be honest, especially since autocross, there's so many different types of vehicles. Everything from built up sports cars, like kit cars that get trailered in, lots of Miatas, just their mom's grocery getter Toyota Corolla. Like there's so many different types of cars. And I was like, oh, is this like my competition? Or, and there's all kinds of like nationals champions and everything. And I was intimidated, but as I quickly found out, people are so friendly in autocross. Yes. I mean, especially our SCCA chapter, Northeast Ohio, SCCA. So people could tell that I was new and I was a little nervous. And so, there were more experienced drivers that rode along with me and kind of showed me the ropes. And shortly after, I felt very comfortable made some new friends. My husband is also autocrosser as well. He kind of got into, I was into it first, and then he came and watched and was like, I think I want to try this too. So
that's great.
Yeah. So
that's
both
a couple
of us,
sport.
Yeah. So we can be a little competitive, but yeah, he's a better driver than me, but
well, for now.
I'm kidding. For now. But
you guys drive different classes though. Or are you in the same class?
Right now we're in the same class.
Are you co-driving the same car?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we are co-driving the same car right now. So both of us have made some great friends through autocross, even friends that we hang out with outside of autocross. It's been great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And we can tell you love autocross because of your cone earrings. Yeah. I love it. What's one thing you wish you would have known rolling into that first event that you later learned? If you could share some of that with the listener.
Well, I guess I would tell myself just go there to have fun. The first few times you're there. You're obviously not going to set the fastest time of the day, especially if it's like your second event or third event. Just go there to have fun. Don't even really sweat about your times. Everybody picks it up at a different rate. There's so much to learn in autocross. It's not just like see how fast you can go or anything like that. You're not just like a drag strip going down a straight line. It's a lot of physics and understanding your car's abilities and control. So, it's a lot to learn. So it's okay if you're going at your own pace. Don't try to compete with others right off the bat, especially if you're around nationals champions and stuff who's probably been doing it for over 10 plus years. So it's okay to start slow and just, get the hang of it. Enjoy the company.
Yeah.
Enjoy your car.
So you guys are co-driving the GTI?
Well, we were co-driving the GTI for a couple years. Then my car had a few issues that were taking a while to fix. So we decided to add a new car to our fleet, a 1993 Miata.
So that's what you're competing in now?
Yes, that's what we're driving this year. We're hoping to get the GTI back up and running at some point. But right now it's just the Miata, and it's been a learning process.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, it's the first time I've ever driven manual.
No kidding.
Yeah, and autocross is the first time I've ever driven manual as well. So, first time driving a rear-wheel drive car, which is significantly different than a front-wheel drive car.
Yes. If we could on that, what's one big handling difference that you've felt between the GTI and the Miata?
I find it, well, obviously the Miata is a lot lighter. It's a much smaller car. So it's a lot more sensitive to inputs. So throttle, steering. You can definitely feel the weight shift a lot easier. And I would just say overall, the car is a lot more sensitive and less forgiving. But you can kind of use that to your advantage once you understand the car more, which I'm still kind of in the process of learning. I've been driving that GTI for maybe 12 years now. So I know that car inside out. It's like an extension of my body. So going from that to a Miata is very different.
Yeah. So I know Miata is always the answer, but why a Miata?
Why a Miata? I would say every time I go to an autocross event, I would say like 70% of the cars there are Miatas. And I was like, there's got to be something about this car that makes everybody choose it. And first off, I think they're adorable. I mean, I told my husband, I was like, those flippy lights are bust. I need an NA Miata because I love those headlights. So we did end up with an NA. And I just thought they were super cute. And I rode along with a couple Miatas, and it seriously felt like a big go-kart. Yes. It's a lot of fun. You got the top down and everything. It feels like a race car, more so than I would say the GTI in a way. It's small, it's nimble, lots of fun.
Yeah. So let's go down the Miata journey a bit.
Yeah.
How did you find it for sale?
Oh boy. So I will say the car is a piece of work.
Yeah.
We joke about this all the time amongst my friends that we basically got a free Miata with a hardtop.
Oh, really?
So that kind of hints at how much it costs and how much work it needed.
Yeah.
So, we got hit up by Jonathan Staggs at Leroy Engineering. He said a client of his was looking to sell a Miata, and they're like, "We heard that you have a friend looking for one." So, we took a look at it, and we were looking for a second autocross car at the time, and we knew we wanted it to be a Miata. So, like a lot of people, we looked through Facebook Marketplace, and we didn't want to get like a beautiful show quality, brand new Miata or anything. It's because it's just going to get beaten up by cones and stuff.
Yeah.
So we wanted something we can learn to work on as well. So we saw this car and we're like, oh, it has a hardtop. Maybe it's a little out of our budget. But then he told us and how much he was selling it for, and we're like, sold.
Are you going to sell the hardtop?
No, we're keeping it.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah, no, we've gotten so many people ask us, like, do you want that hardtop? Do you want that hardtop? I'm like, yes, we do. It doesn't have a soft top either, so that's the only.
You kind of need it.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So what was the biggest surprise? So you bought the car, got it back home. What was the biggest surprise?
The biggest surprise about the car? That despite its appearances, it has some little scuffs and bumps on it, completely rust-free.
No
we were told
way.
it was beautiful underneath with a few little scrapes, but we think it used to be slammed.
Oh, okay.
So minus those little scrapes underneath it, it was fairly clean.
Good.
Body was in great health. It's had some interesting things done to it. Interesting ECU, just some questionable choices that I didn't really understand. So we, took it to Leroy Engineering and had them take a look at it and make suggestions on how to tweak it to be more of an autocross car. Because I think the person before had plans to turn it into some kind of race car. It came with a roll bar.
Okay.
And everything. So, it's like a box. I call it an old box of chocolates. We find like something weird about it every time we open the hood or start the car. I mean, it has a check engine light button.
Really?
Yes. You push the AC button and the check engine light comes on, and we're like, oh, okay. It doesn't affect performance or anything. It's just a weird quirk of a 30-year-old car.
Yeah. Miata things.
Yeah, just Miata things.
Have you competed in it?
I have.
Yeah?
I have. Obviously, I'm not up there with people in my class yet. I'm not quite competitive with them yet because I'm trying to get used to the car.
What class is that?
Right now, we are in the EST class just because, we're kind of driving the car as is. We've done some suspension work on it and got some new tires. We hope to be in the LMC class with the other Miatas at some point, but our car is currently not spec'd properly for that.
Gotcha.
So, we're hoping by next year we'll be able to compete with the other LMC Miatas.
Awesome. I know there's an Autocross Sunday. Are you going?
Yes, I am.
Or maybe it's Saturday. I think it's Saturday.
This Sunday, actually.
Sunday. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Good luck at that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit more about being a woman in motorsports. So has your journey been easier or harder than you anticipated?
A lot easier than anticipated. I kind of wanted to dip my toes in different aspects of motorsports. Obviously, I don't have the proper resources or setup to go full track or road racing, club racing, time trials. So I'm sticking with autocross for now. But I have been volunteering as a flagger for some of the other SCCA races at what is the track called?
Nelson Ledges.
Nelson Ledges, yes. Nelson's Ledges. I've been shown the ropes of the behind the scenes of races and everything, which I thought was super cool. And everyone has been super accommodating to me and almost excited that I'm there.
Oh, yeah.
Way. So I guess I'm not exactly a common face that they see,
right.
Especially in the flagging community. So I kind of stick out like a sore thumb sometimes at these events. But
well, we appreciate the sore thumb because when folks like you volunteer, so the listener knows, you volunteered at Nelson Ledges Road Course, Garrettsville, Ohio, as a flagger. So you're working a corner station. Volunteers like you allow racers to get on track. So it's super refreshing to see a different face, a new face doing that. And so I want to ask you a question about that. Being that close to the action, what did you see or hear or feel that you're like, holy cow, I never knew this sort of stuff happened on track?
Well, as a flagger, you're not really behind the barriers like everyone else is. So the first time you're standing in a corner and you see a car go past you at 120, it's pretty shocking.
Yes.
It's pretty shocking. Obviously, you have to stand back in certain areas for safety. But, there's still not a whole lot between you and the car. So, that was very eye-opening to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your role as a flagger, you're watching the race, you're indicating things to the drivers with your flags. Your first event, was it boring, exciting? Did you have a lot to do? Tell us about that.
It was fairly exciting in that it was new, but, when they say at races, sometimes it's a good thing when there's not too much action because that means people aren't getting hurt. There's no accidents. So at times it is a little uneventful, but it is fascinating because you're watching the race from a different perspective, a lot closer than people. You have to be very observant of positions and timing and everything, and even just road conditions, making sure there's no oil or anything on the road. So it's kind of a different way of watching racing.
Oh, for sure. You're going to have a huge advantage when you get into track events because you see the track from a totally different perspective than the driver does. Even if you walk a track, watching the cars come through there one after the other, you pick up on different turn-in points, different break points. So you're going to have a little competitive advantage there. Yeah,
definitely. But I totally sidetracked from your original question about me being a woman in motorsports. But yeah, everyone has been a lot more accommodating than I thought. I don't know why. I kind of expected that there would be a little bit of like stereotyping or that people aren't going to take me seriously or something. But it almost seems like people are excited at the fact that I'm a female racer, and also I feel like there's something to be said about being a minority as well. In Northeast Ohio, there's not a whole lot of Asian people, so to see a female Asian into racing is pretty exciting, I think, to them, which is awesome.
Yeah, it should be, right?
Yeah. So I haven't come across any people that were rude towards me or in any way, which is wonderful.
That's great. Yeah. I think you might be the second or third female guest.
Okay.
No, third. Pretty sure. And I, as a father of two daughters, I have a daughter that raced karts for 5 seasons. I get excited when there's women involved in motorsports because, and the fact that you and your husband do it together is even better. Couples that autocross together stay together. Is that how it goes?
I like that.
Maybe.
Yeah. Should make a shirt that says that or something.
No, I think it's great because our sport only gets better when we have more opinions, more thoughts, more people, diverse backgrounds. So I think I probably speak for everyone to say it's good to have you here.
Yeah, thank you.
I want to go back to autocrossing first. So we're going to jump back and forth a little bit, but I want to go back to autocrossing because there's going to be some listeners that haven't done anything yet. They're out getting the information about what car do I need to buy? What events should I be going to? Do I go autocrossing, time trial? Do I just jump right into racing? So we're going to focus on autocrossing.
Right.
Walk somebody through, in your opinion, in your mind, what is an autocross event?
So an autocross event, I would say, is I kind of look at it as doing an obstacle course with your car. That's how I describe it to people who don't know what autocross is. I'm like, imagine it's like racing, but in a parking lot or a very large open lot with cones. And the cones are kind of direct you where to go. And it changes every time. That's kind of the cool aspect of the sport is that the setup changes every time. So it's not like you're memorizing the track or, what lines to take all the time. So, I just look at it as like a obstacle course with your car that you can literally do with any car. I mean, there are some restrictions such as like vehicle height and stuff like that. But I always tell people, if you ever want to try it, just try it with whatever you have.
Right.
And you don't need, a lot of people tell me like, oh, my car's not fast enough, or I'm worried it doesn't have enough mods. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Especially if it's your first time and you don't know if you want to get into it yet. You don't want to invest a ton of money into mods or anything. Just come out and try it.
Yeah. And I advise people not to do modifications of their car because until a point, because what ends up happening is you modify and now you're in a totally different class that you're going to be uncompetitive with anyways, because the other people are modding 4 or 5 times the amount of money that you just did.
Yeah.
And they could probably outdrive you anyway. So just show up, put a little extra air pressure in your tires, take everything out of your trunk and bring a helmet and go.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah. And if you don't have a helmet, we also have some for rental as well. So, if you don't want to you don't know if you want to make the investment in autocross yet, just literally show up.
Yeah. Let's talk about the autocross day.
Yeah.
So you roll in, you check in at registration, then they have sometimes driver's meeting and then course walk, but let's just say they have a course walk first. And that's exactly what it is. You are going out, walking the course to learn it. When you do that, what are you looking for?
So sometimes it depends on who I'm doing the course walk with. Sometimes I will go with the novice instructors because I still very much consider myself a novice. But, they will kind of coach you on what lines to take. There's terms we use called backsiding the cones and whatnot. And my personal favorite term that helped me so much is to scare the cone. So, it sounds weird at first, but it makes sense. It's like you're driving towards the cone, looking like you're about to hit it, and then you kind of shear off, kind of last minute, I'm going to hit you, you're scaring the cone. So
I like that.
Yeah. So when I'm doing these walks, sometimes I'll do them with friends, and we'll talk about we should take this wide. We should don't pay attention to this cone. It's just like a trick cone, which can happen at times. Sometimes the course designer will put a cone there that doesn't really mean anything. It's just kind of a distraction. Or this is a Chicago box. You should brake here, turn here, and just kind of doing little calculations in our head. But the course walk is super important just for knowing where to go. It's helpful to walk it several times because a lot of people get freaked out by autocross because you might have heard the term before, sea of cones. When people look out in the parking lot, especially the IX Center, because that's a massive lot, they just see cones scattered everywhere. And it's easy to get blinded by that and just be like, I don't know where I'm going. So it helps to have the map pulled up on your phone or a printout and walk the course and figure out where you're at. So, and it is very easy to go out there and get turned around and, get confused. So it helps to do the walk.
Yeah. And you want to be really diligent with that walk because you're probably only getting 6 runs. Yeah. 6 chances to lay down your fastest time. And the more you can do to be prepared for that first run, the more you can get out of those 6 runs. Oh,
yes, definitely. And it varies per event. With how many attendants you have and how long the day is, if there's any rain delays or anything, with how many runs we get. I've heard as little as 3 runs each per session, I guess, and which I typically prefer more runs because I always look at the first one as kind of a throwaway.
Yes.
I know a lot of people feel that way as well. You're getting used to the course. You've never seen this course before. So you're just trying to go the right way and not get a DNF.
Right. Yeah.
So.
And at an autocross event, you run and you work.
Yes.
So explain what some of the worker roles would be to somebody.
Yeah. So the majority of the people will do, they call it cone shagging at certain places, but was I allowed to say that? But basically, they're corner workers. So you'll have anywhere from 3 to 4 corners. There will be probably 3 or so corner workers and 1 corner captain at each. And if somebody knocks down a cone, a runner will go and pick up the cone whenever it's safe to. And corner captain usually has a radio, and they'll call in and notify anyone of hazards, or if somebody hit a cone, they get a +1 added to their time, which is the second, I believe. And they usually have a red flag. So they're responsible for waving a red flag if there's any unsafe conditions. And there's also usually a fire extinguisher at each station as well, just in case. Hopefully you'll never have to use that, but you never know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we have, another aspect of the day, of an autocross day, is having tech inspection.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
In the beginning. So we have some people who work to inspect your car, make sure your battery is secure and not going to go flying.
Yeah.
Make sure
that's usually the most common part. Batteries are not tied down.
Yeah. And make sure your tires are on, your wheels are on correctly. There's nothing in your car that can roll around and injure you or a passenger. There's the grid workers who make sure all the cars are in the right spots. Make sure that, if you have a co-driver, they have to do the timing a little bit different, and for scoring purposes as well. And then I always work at the trailer, so at timing and scoring. So this is an incredibly important job.
Yes.
It's a lot of pressure, but it's a lot of fun. So you usually have 2 people in there that will, one person's on the computer and they're looking at the line of cars coming in, and they'll jot down the number of the car. And once the car goes past the start, it'll trigger the time. And once they cross the end, it'll stop the time. So it's very important that you put the cars in order and not forget one. Otherwise, it'll just...
everyone's time will be messed up.
Yeah, everyone's time will be messed up. And the other person that's in the trailer has a radio with them at all times. And they're communicating with the corner workers out there to let them know, if they see something that they should red flag, or the corner workers will tell them, oh, car 32 XA hit a cone +1, or they went off track. So that's a DNF. And then we'll make note of that in the computer.
All right.
So
the neat thing about autocross is at the end of the event, there's award ceremony, right?
Sometimes. Autocross is a long day. There is supposed to be a little award ceremony at the end, but sometimes people just kind of rush to get out. So we're just just forgo it. But yeah, usually there is an award ceremony at the end. They do get awards. So whoever's listening to this in autocross, make sure you stay in case you win an award. So it usually consists of a gift card to Summit Racing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So just various levels. Sometimes we'll have fastest overall time, fastest in different classes, and sometimes just something random like most cones hit or something.
Yeah.
Or we had one time for the oldest autocrosser.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How old were they? Do you remember?
I believe he was in his mid-70s or so.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, he joked about it. It was like, I'm 90 or something, but we're like, you're not 90.
That sounds fun. What's been the most rewarding part of autocross for you?
The most rewarding part is, I would say, obviously, I'm not the fastest driver yet. And I would say the most rewarding part of autocross is seeing your time in the beginning when you're still trying to get familiar with the course and everything, and seeing the massive improvement you make throughout the day. And, that's kind of why I like it when you get a lot of runs, because you can see yourself improving throughout the day.
Yes.
Which is really nice. Once you get used to the course, sometimes the conditions will change throughout the day. So if we still autocross in the rain.
Yeah.
So unless there's thunder or lightning, we don't. But sometimes the track will dry out through the day, so that affects times as well.
Oh, it's true.
So it's just cool seeing the results change throughout the day.
Now, when you go to an event, you have to take things. You got to take water, some tools, maybe food and snacks. Is there something you always forget to take?
Oh man, I always forget to take. I'm really bad about this one, but snacks.
Oh, yeah.
So I bring my lunch. I'll make a lunch for my husband and I. It's always a whole production. We'll have we'll make our lunches the night before, just because there's not too many options around the IX Center, and not enough time to just run out and sit somewhere and eat. Our lunch breaks are typically 30 minutes to an hour, depending on attendance and how things are going. But sometimes while I'm working at the trailer, I can just hear my stomach growl, and I'm
Ooh.
like, I should have packed something, like a little something. So sometimes, autocross is, even though you're in your car, it is still very much a physical sport.
Oh, yeah.
It's a long day. It's a hot day usually because the season's usually summer, during the summer. So you need to stay super hydrated, eat lots of snacks so you're not hungry. Because if you don't feel great, you're not going to do great.
That's right.
So there's been times where I haven't eaten enough, haven't hydrated enough, and my time suffered because I just wasn't feeling the greatest.
Oh, so there's a pro tip there. Bring hydration,
Yes.
bring snacks.
Yes, tons of hydration.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really bad about remembering to drink water, but when I do autocross, I will easily go through like an entire case of water. It's yeah.
It is demanding, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that you chose a trailer job because if it's raining, the sun's beating down on you, you are safe inside the trailer.
Oh yeah.
That's another pro tip.
Yeah. I mean, it's not, I guess initially it's not really a job that you can choose. Typically the event leader will, kind of determine over time who they think will be good at it. And I was kind of surprised. Originally, I was the one picking up cones. I was running around outside. It was not the most fun because there's no shade there. It's hot. It's, you get worn out easily, which can also affect your driving. So I guess there's kind of an advantage of being in the trailer. You get to sit down and everything. But they've trusted me with the timing and scoring, which I think was super cool of them. And now it's kind of become like my thing. So I automatically get assigned to it every time, which I think is awesome.
That is, for sure. One of the goals you have is to get faster and get better at autocrossing. What are some of the tools and activities you need to do to get there? How will you get faster?
How will I get faster? Well, there's... autocross, if you're like a data nerd, autocross is a sport for you.
Yeah.
There's so many little things that you can tweak in the car to affect your times to do better. Everything from tire pressures, even temperature. I've seen people I haven't done it personally, but I've seen people bring temperature guns and do that to their tires. Make some tweaks. And my husband's a huge data nerd, so he records his times, and he even has like this little OBD kind of reader thing you plug in your car, and it puts data in your phone, and and we even record sometimes our sessions and see like what we could have done better. Sometimes we'll have people ride along with us. The most helpful thing was that I had a nationals champion ride along with me.
Okay.
And had him critique my driving. And that's been one of the most helpful things because there's a lot of things I didn't know I was doing until he told me. And
really?
I was like, oh, wow, okay. That's really helpful to know. So,
and did you notice a difference?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, definitely. Especially with the Miata because I didn't realize that at times when I was nervous or anxious that I would sometimes tap the throttle a little, like just kind of pump it a little or something. Oh. And he was like, don't do that because it can actually like shift weight on the car a bit, and like that's never really been an issue with the GTI just because it's a lot less sensitive, but with such a small nimble car like that, any input you do is a huge deal. Yeah
Very good. And other than the ODB2 reader, do you use any sort of data during your runs?
Not really. Sometimes I just kind of like to go for fun and just record my times, and just try to beat the time I had before. I know some people are really hardcore about it. I mean, I've seen people bring computers and they're just sitting there typing away at like things and whatnot, but I'm a bit more casual when it comes to it. I just like to go fast. I just like to drive my car in a way that I normally can't on the highway.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Where do you hope all of this leads?
I really hope that it'll, between autocrossing and flagging and just getting involved in SCCA in general, I hope it opens doors to other opportunities, such as maybe joining a racing team of some kind. I think that would be really awesome. I would like a goal of mine is someday to flag for IMSA or F1. We are huge fans of IMSA. I've been to maybe 6 Rolex 24s.
Oh, wow.
We're actually about to go to the Indianapolis race in a couple of weeks. So I always thought it'd be so fun to flag a long race like that. But I'm just hoping to meet connections through SCCA that can help me meet some of those goals. And I always say that my I don't want to say impossible because nothing's impossible, but a dream of mine is to drive a Porsche race car of some kind.
Yeah, I think you can get there.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that someday I will be able to. I really look up to the Iron Dames. I think the all-female racing team.
Yes.
I think they're super cool, and I don't know if I'll quite get there, but I'm hoping I can at least do something similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you're on the right path. You're doing the things that are advancing your motorsports journey. I think if you just continue to do that, you'll get there.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Yeah, hope so.
Let's jump back to women in motorsports. If a young lady is listening to this or approaches you at an event and kind of says, I want to do something like this, what's the advice you'd give her on something to do first? What's that first step?
Well, I would tell her, just don't be too hard on yourself if you don't pick it up right away. I have a tendency to be very hard on myself, but racing is not easy. If it was easy, everyone would do it, and it requires a lot of practice, a lot of seat time. Don't let any fallbacks get you down. Just dust yourself off, get back up again, and you'll do better next time. It might take a while to get to where you want to go, but just realize that everybody goes at different paces, and it's okay if you're not, going as fast as everyone else. The fact that you're trying is awesome.
Yes. Oh, for sure.
So, just don't be too hard on yourself if you're not exactly where you're at right now. It does take time. Gotcha.
When you are looking to learn more about autocross and our sport, what are some of the resources you go and look at?
I'm not sure that I exactly look at any resources, but I mean, I'm a huge social media junkie. Probably on it a little more than I should be, but there's a lot of racing accounts and whatnot that I follow, like IMSA, F1, even some other smaller autocross ones and whatnot. And I just like to watch their videos, study what they do. I've even been in contact with some racers from other states and stuff, and they've given me some very helpful tips and advice, and even things I can do to my car. For autocross that I would have never thought of. So, it's really kind of a social experience for me. So,
and if you think about it, there's so much more we can see behind the scenes than we ever could even 10 years ago, 5 years ago, as drivers and teams post content on social media. We get the behind the scenes look. We get some of the, some reels now are turning into how-tos. Of course, there's TikTok and YouTube as well.
Right.
The content is there if we want to consume it and learn from it. And you talk about, the social media aspect and the whole idea behind social media is to be just that. And you said one of the things you love about our sport are the people, and you found a way to connect them by, being at the events, interacting with people, making friends, but then staying engaged with them online. Do you find that the social media part helps you continue building relationships between events, helps you build relationships you think that'll help you progress on your journey?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Even if they're not in autocross, I've met some other racers, particularly ones that have Volkswagen GTIs as well. And, just talking to them about their experiences and everything, and knowing that, some of them have even offered, if you're ever in the area, let me know. I can give you a ride along, or we can drive together or something. I just feel like the more people that I meet through social media, that kind of opens more doors. You never know who they might know that can get you into XYZ.
Oh, yeah.
I've even, at one of the Motorsports Day events, I've even met a flag chief there from another region that said, if you ever want to flag Indy or anything, let me know. I might be able to get you in there. So, I just feel like inviting people to have conversations with you and, just making sure that, you're there if people want to talk about racing and stuff and just being receptive to their advice and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a piece of advice that somebody gave you about autocrossing that was like, you think about often, you're like, that has helped me so much? Is there an example of that?
Am I allowed to mention names?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So I mentioned this earlier, but I feel like one of the most helpful things that I've learned was from another autocrosser, Chip Manuel.
Oh, yeah.
He taught me the term scaring the cone. And that term just stuck with me for some reason because I didn't really understand that concept very well until like I had this funny picture in my head right after he said it of literally like, I'm going to hit you. And then just like last minute, like diverting kind of thing. Like, so, that really helped me understand it way more than I thought it would. So,
well, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull in something personal here. So last week I was talking to an auto interest instructor and he had helped a driver I was talking to shave 5 seconds off his lap time that day. So I said, how? And he said, most drivers turn in too early. And that's exactly what Chip, I think, was explaining to you is mentally, you need to avoid that cone because there's going to be a point where you don't see it because it's hidden by the hood, but you still have room to execute the turn. I think that's great advice.
Yeah, definitely. And it kind of helps me get a little more comfortable with getting closer to cones. We used to have this joke. I mean, obviously they weren't like making fun of me in a negative way, but they were like, whenever they would see like videos of me or something, they're like, you're like a zip code away from the cone. And I'm like, great, thanks. But I noticed as I'm getting more comfortable with the car, with the course, I am getting closer to the cones. And I learned that it's not necessarily a bad thing if you hit cones sometimes.
No.
It will take some time off your overall time, but it means that you're getting very close to the cone. You're getting comfortable getting closer to the cones. And so it's okay to get close to them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Is there anything we didn't talk about that you wanted to?
Not really sure.
No? Well, I have one final question, but before we get there, I'll make a note.
Okay.
So we're going to share all of your socials, including Hans, in the show notes so people can get a hold of you. They can hunt you down, learn more about you. You can make even more connections in the sport.
Awesome.
But the final question.
Yes.
Have you ever been late to grid?
Yes.
What's the story?
Oh, man. This is kind of a weird one, but
Good.
maybe mildly embarrassing. But so there's kind of this rule on where you put porta-potties on autocross.
Okay,
There unfortunately was an accident not too long ago regarding a porta-potty in the grid. So they are spaced pretty far.
Oh, all right.
So like I'm always like, should I? The question always is like, should I go now? Should I wait? Should I go now? Should I wait? And I'm like, I think I'm gonna go now. And then of course like everyone was already lined up at the grid, and I was like, oh no! So like people would always laugh because sometimes they'll see me in my helmet just running across the the grid, and I'm like, I'm coming. So there's that. And that's the only one I can really think of. I'm generally pretty good at being on time.
Yeah. Well, that's a good story for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Nisa, it was great having you on the podcast.
Yeah, thanks.
Love your journey thus far. Can't wait to see where it goes. Thanks for spending some time with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me on here.